All right. Forgot to click in. There we are. Good evening, everybody. How is everyone tonight? I 7 thumbs down, and it hasn't even started. They are devoted. Sunset Hosta Farm. They're devoted. They love me so much that they have to come in and show me. They're gonna show me. You know the best part is, it still counts as a view, which is awesome. So to all those people, thank you. All right. I hope everybody's doing good. Um, we're going to get into the topic. Actually, we're going to get into the topic big time here shortly, and that is, are we being played for fools? And we're going to talk about a lot of different things. I had some points that I wanted to make. I was going to maybe do a scenario for you guys, and I still may do that scenario. We'll see. And it makes some good points when I do this scenario so that you would, and I'm sure a lot of you already understand, but it kind of brings it more to, huh, that's interesting. Like I said, I'm always going to want to make you think, and I think that that's important that we think. I like that shirt, got to be nice. 80s Rambo vibe. Yeah, right. Actually, this was sent to me by one of my subscribers, and so I will show you the rest of it. There we are. And so I actually have a lot of shirts that I wear that have been sent to me by subscribers through the years. And I thought Dragon Arms was you after 10 loads of gravel, right? Yeah, no, I'll tell you what. After 10 loads of gravel, I feel like freaking Popeye doing gravel, that's for sure. So, all right. So, before we get into this stream, I just want to remind everybody, very family friendly oriented channel, folks. So anybody can watch, and I'm going to ask you all to be decent in the chat as well. Be kind to each other. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those simple, easy rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here because we're just not going to tolerate it. We're not going to tolerate it at all. It's not anything that's necessary, and it's not what we're going to do. So I'm going to. Some of you may know, may recognize this mug. Um, this mug was given, and of course I have tea because it is that time of year. It's getting colder, so I figured, well, I'm going to have my first tea in live stream chat, and I will have my mug that I will drink one day in the halls of Valhalla. That was given to me by Mountain Girl, and very awesome lady that lives up in Maine. And so, hey, Nancy, welcome. So, you guys will not be seeing Heather this evening. She is off spending some time with a male companion. So, we will not be seeing her this evening. And but she's like, all right, I'm going to go. And I'm like, all right, have fun, have a good time. So, but all right. So, a couple serious things that I do want to talk about. Has Mountain Girl been in the streams lately? I haven't seen her for a while. She did stop into one stream, and she did. I know she had made a comment on one of my videos, and she was saying that she's been getting a lot of stuff done up in Maine at her retreat that she has in Maine. Hey, Peter, welcome from Kent in the UK. Thank you for staying up late to watch us this evening. I appreciate that. And but anyway, um, yeah, she has been working on her homestead up there, getting things done up there. At some point, I have made a promise to Mountain Girl. Probably Heather and I will take a ride up to Maine, and it's one of the states that I've never been to. So I definitely want to go do that and go and hang out with her at her homestead. I'm looking forward to that. She's been here. She came here a couple of years ago, and really just a very very good person, very down to earth, and but anyway, so that's but yeah, she had sent that mug, and I love that mug, and I think that it's awesome. So, all right. So one of the things that I want to talk about tonight, guys, and I think this is, I got a question for you first. All right. Decaffeinated? No, no, we have to have caffeine, so nice bike riding in Maine. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it'd be beautiful to ride up there. Like I said, I'd love to go and see the lighthouses, eat seafood on the coast, and do all that type of stuff. I think that would be a lot of fun. So I think it would be a really good time. So I have a question first, right? Now we all know that the protections for people has expired for people that haven't paid rent in their apartments, people that have not paid their mortgage payments. Now I want to ask you guys, how many of you have seen in the news the huge number of people that are being evicted, that are being foreclosed on? I want to hear how much coverage you've seen in the news about this. So that's my question first, and then we're going to get into that in just a second. So I'm going to ask you guys to give me, have you seen that in the news, how they're talking about all these people being evicted, foreclosed on, kicked out of their homes? So we have none, not one bit. None, zero, nada, not a lot, not a lot. I see none, zero, zero coverage. Haven't seen anything, none. Now, I find that really interesting. Do you think that that's interesting that something like that, something as important as that, is not being covered in the news? I wonder why the news medias are not covering that. Hmm, that is very interesting because the reality is all those people that decided not to pay their mortgages, not to pay their rent, they're getting evicted. They're being foreclosed on. And it's happening in a lot of cases all over the place. And I want you to think about this as well. If you were one of those people that decided not to pay your mortgage or not to pay, let's go with renters. We're going to go with renters. If you decided not to pay your rent, okay, you go to get your next apartment and try to rent someplace else, they're not going to rent to you because you didn't pay your rent in your last apartment. Why would they? They do checks. That's what they do. They check. And if as soon as they find out, oh, this person didn't pay his rent for a year and a half, there's no way I'm renting to them, right? Where are all these people going? How are they taking care of their families? Let's say you were even working, okay? Let's say you were even working and you had legitimate struggles. With a lot of people have had legitimate struggles through this whole pandemic, not being able to go to work, being on unemployment and all those type of things. A lot of people, and I want you guys, so if you listen, and this is where we're being played for as a fool, okay? This is part of the reason we're being played for as a fool. If you listen to the news media, it's a bunch of lazy people that are just trying to get over on the system, that don't want to work, that are doing all these things, right? That's the message that's being put out there through the media. But let's talk about reality. Let's talk about reality for a second, folks. When you look at what is going on, food prices through the roof, gas, electric, uh, you know, heating oil, all those things through the roof. They're going up like crazy. Your pay, and I know this because I've been in this situation, your pay doesn't go up to mirror what inflation is doing. And inflation has gone through the roof. So these people maybe, unfortunately, were not able to pay that mortgage or maybe not able to pay that rent because the circumstances were they got to feed their families first. And so now that protection is over. And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I am sure that there are people out there that took advantage of the situation. Absolutely believe that 100% to be the case, but not in every case. Not in every case. Real quick, we're at almost 650 people in the chat already. We're at 227 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do that to show support for the channel ahead of time, and I appreciate that. Again, it really does help us with the algorithms as well. And so I thank you for that reason as well. It really pushes us up higher in the ranking the more interaction. So thumbs up or thumbs down. Obviously, we prefer thumbs up. Also, again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right. So some people through their own fault, some people not through their own fault, what is happening right now. And that's what people need to realize. Not all these people out there are taking advantage of the system. Some people had genuine things happen They could not survive. Most people, and I'm not going to say all because obviously that's not the case, but most people live paycheck to paycheck. They're used to getting a certain amount of money and they live at that means. Not a lot of people live below the means of what they bring home. In other words, not a lot of people are saving money. They're not putting away for the rainy day. They're not getting ready for those type of things, right? They just don't. People don't. They got to have this and they got to have that and they got to have the other thing and they got to have it yesterday. They are not planning ahead. They're not thinking, man, if I do this, this is going to put me in this much of a hole. And, how long of a hole am I going to be in that for? And those type of things. So they're used to spending XYZ. Well, all of a sudden, now you're not making XYZ. You're making down here. You can't afford to take care of everything. So what you're going to be seeing, and you're going to be seeing it really, really soon. And if it's not, and it's already happening, it's just not being reported. You have a huge increase of a homeless population of people that cannot take care of their families. The food banks, look at the food banks out there. And, they're doubling and tripling the amount of people that they're helping. Now, some of you would say, well, that was because of the pandemic and everything going on. It's not just because of that. Food prices have absolutely gone through the roof. They've gone absolutely crazy of how much everything costs now. And this is a problem. And people are not paying attention to those things. Planning ahead, being prepared. I've been talking about this for you guys for a long time. I've said hard times are coming. You need to get ready. You need to prep. And a lot of you have listened. I don't know what they're barking at. So a lot of you have listened to that. And you have been smart and you have been getting the things that you need and you've been hedging your bets, if you will. But a lot of people out there are not wised up like the rest of us.
I thought I dropped in your live.
Oh, okay. I was like, I heard him barking. I'm like, I know I locked that front door. Well, anyway, folks, we have a special guest tonight. Camera shy Becky has joined us in the live stream.
Thought I'd shock everybody.
No, it's not Heather. It's not Heather.
No, it's not Heather.
It's Becky. Becky came in. I already told you Heather's on a play date.
Is that what we're calling it?
Well, we'll call it a play date, yes. So Becky will be making my next trip with me down to West Virginia, because she has not seen the property down there yet. And oh my God, okay, I gotta show this. This is patheticness right there.
Oh, baby.
Oh my goodness.
I need my love.
She is such a baby. So, yeah. Well, how is your evening going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. We're having a.
What are you talking about tonight?
Well, we're talking about the situation where, in the news, you have not heard. If you watch the news all the time,
right?
Have they been talking a lot about the foreclosures and how people are being evicted?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Because those things are up now, right?
Yes, they've been up.
Yeah.
So people are being evicted,
right?
And they're being put out on the streets, but it's not being put out there on the news media. I wonder why the news media is not covering that. Won't you think that would be an important story? Or maybe they were told
not to cover it.
Not to talk about it, not to cover it. Isn't that interesting how that works? Honey Badger's home said, Becky, grab a chair and sit down.
Well, what is right here?
You could sit right there.
Okay, what is this? I don't want that on my butt.
Okay, yeah, well, we'll move that. Okay, there we go. Oh my God.
Is that better?
There you go. So anyway, Becky foreclosed on the cats. Yes, Becky did foreclose on the cats. So I'll tell you that story. I think I mentioned it the other day. So Becky was spoiling my cats, giving them treats and doing all this type of stuff. And I had 4 of my cats decided, hey, it's pretty cool over here. We're going to stay over here and hang out with Becky. Just put her down.
I'm trying.
Well, Becky had a couple things happen to her. First of all, Max got up on the wood or on the stove. No, held it down. Got up on the stove, ate a bunch of bacon grease, and then threw up on the floor. Once he threw up on the floor, in the middle of the night, Becky got up to use the toilet and stepped in it
in bare feet.
So she really enjoyed that.
threw up.
Threw up, yes.
Woke mom up, made her clean it up.
Woke poor grandma up and made her clean it up. And then
I decided to go to sleep.
Then she decided to go to sleep, eyes closed, and Lucy decided to sneeze right in her face, which he has done to me as well.
It's not pleasant.
It's no, not so pleasant. And so what happened was
third and final straw.
That was the final.
No, going to the bathroom once again, looking down at the cat box, and one of the cats missed the box and peed all on the outside and underneath the box. I said, "That's it. I'm done." They were on vacation. Vacation's over. Go home.
Right. So that's so she kicked them out. She evicted the cats.
Every one of them.
Every one of them. So now they're back with us. But we felt like, I'm like, these freaking treacherous traitor cats. I can't believe it. For treats? For treats? They sold us out?
Nice at my house.
Yeah. So.
Not no more.
But
and they were bringing me all kinds of dead animals to my front door. I don't miss that at all.
Well, they were trying to say, look, you need help, and there you go.
Don't miss it at all.
Prepper, Edwin, when will you be coming to West Virginia? We're going to be coming down. Actually, let me look at my calendar, and I will tell you exactly when we're coming down.
15th.
I think 17th, I believe.
17th?
I believe.
No, I think you're right. 15th Monday.
Yeah, we're going to be heading down on the 17th of this month. We're going to be spending a couple days at my retreat in Homestead number 2 in West Virginia. And then we're going to a friend of mine's retreat, and we're going to be spending 2 days over there. And so this is a quick trip. She's looking. Is he looking?
Yes, I kissed his head, so he's kissing me
Oh,
back.
Caesar, what's going on? You're a good boy. So, what are you doing? They were all calm back until you came in the house. So
they missed me. I want you, baby.
All right, come on, down, everybody down.
We don't get to see her that often.
All right.
That really worked.
John says, Becky, you will love West Virginia.
Oh, I know. I'm sure I will.
Yeah, it's beautiful down there.
I've drove through it before, so I know it's beautiful country.
So, but anyway, let's get back into talking what we were talking about before Becky so rudely interrupted us. No, that's fine. I'm just she can show up anytime she wants. Show a kitty. All right, hold on real quick. I will show you Mr. Max. Sound asleep over in the corner. The other cats, I don't know where they are at the moment. They are around though. So, but so anyway, massive foreclosures are happening. Massive evictions because of people not paying their rent are happening. These people are being put out on the street. The homeless shelters can only help so many people. That's all. There's not a unlimited amount of beds to be able to help people. So a lot of people are staying, who knows where they're staying.
Some shelters only take men, some only take women and children. So the men are left on the street.
Yep.
So, or the women and the children left on the street. It can go either way.
I'd read my previous comment. Diesel is running out in the Midwest. Trucks can't get fuel. Yeah, and that's not good. And if the trucks can't get fuel, they cannot deliver the supplies, which is another thing that is going on, which I believe, and I'm going to give you my opinion. I believe it's being done intentionally. They're holding up those ships out in the ocean on purpose, and to cause more chaos,
Why aren't they calling in the National Guard to unload those ships?
We have talked about that.
Yeah,
we have talked about that. Yep.
That's what the National Guard's for American emergencies.
Did you see the CDC director got grilled by Senator Cassidy about why 75% of the staff were still not inoculated? Well, I did not see that, but isn't that interesting? Well, I'm not going to. I was thinking of doing a scenario, which I still may do, and I may do it in another live stream about that, but using a different way of talking about it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Caesar.
Okay, Caesar, down. That's it. No. But so you have that situation happening where all these people, they should go across the border and then come back as illegals, and then we'll give them everything. That's what should happen. Then they'll put them up in hotels and take care of them and the whole 9 yards. It's absolutely ridiculous the way that the system is being run, of what they're doing. They create the problem, and then they're going to blame somebody else for the problem. Oh, I do need to make a retraction. I did make a mistake the other day when I was talking about the situation, and they were saying that it was Trump's policies of separating the children from their parents if they come across the border illegally. I made the mistake and I said that went back to Obama. I was wrong. It was not. That was a Trump policy. But hold on one second. Hey, Brian Keith Prepper. Breaking news: my state of Kansas first. Oh, hold on a second. First Democratic governor, Governor Kelly, came out today in national news against Biden jab forcing in the country. Oh, very nice. Well, good. That is a huge issue. Thank you very much for that information. I'm glad to hear that. It's a good thing. More of these, you know, governors and stuff like that need to stand up to that tyranny, realistically, of forcing people to do something that they should not have to do if they don't want to do it. So that's good news, and thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that.
Did you ever tell them what my doctor said? How it's going to be in the flu shot every year?
No, I haven't talked about that. I don't really
Talk about that
too much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
we don't
try
talk
to.
about the Fauci.
Yes, we don't talk about that too much.
Okay.
Hey, Gigi. 70 planes of illegals to Florida and 100 flights to New York. Where are they putting these people? And again, when they were bringing them into New York, especially the children, they were bringing them in the middle of the night so that people did not know. Again, these are huge issues. We need to take care of our own. And I've said this over and over and over again. And when you have the number of people that are going to be out on the street because of these foreclosures and evictions, where are they going to go? Who are they going to stay with? So some of them are going to stay with relatives, sure, but for how long? How long can people continue to do that?
There's going to be a mass migration south because of homeless.
That'll be part of it. I think that would be part of it because it'll be too cold up here very soon for people to be trying to survive out on the streets.
Yep.
And it's a crazy situation. Again, with food prices going the way that they're going, with fuel costs going up across the board, double in some cases, and just look at what gas has done, guys, since January. I know that we were paying $2.20 a gallon here in New York in January, and the last I checked, we were paying $3.52 a gallon. That's a huge increase in a very, very short period of time. And I saw the energy secretary said, "Well, I hope it doesn't get to $4 a gallon." Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. That's very kind of you to say that. How about you guys do something about it? Again, we went from oil independent. Actually, we were an oil exporter, and now we're buying it again. What does that tell you? 335 in West Virginia. Okay, thank you, Northern Prepper One. Thank you for letting us know that. But 309 in Kansas. So I know California's ridiculous.
Okay, I'm going to jump off.
Okay.
My show is on. I just wanted to come over and say hi to everybody.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. Well, make sure you lock the front door when you
I will.
head
I
out.
had my keys to get in.
Well, yeah.
Because you had it locked.
I did have it locked. Well, Heather wasn't home, so I figured,
All right.
All right. We'll see you. Thank you for stopping in.
Yep.
So, yeah, 479 in Oakland, California, 434 in Rhode Island, 359 in Pennsylvania, 346 in Michigan on Friday, 365 in Colorado, $4 plus in Seattle. Hey, Mountain Kayaker, no mandates for U.S. postal workers. Oh, they were pushing it on them pretty hard before. They were really pushing it on them very hard before. Oh, I have a story for you on that one. Okay. So my neighbor down the road here that was a mailman, he's no longer a mailman because now he's dead, 50 years old, good, thin, in good shape, no issues whatsoever. He had like the flu. He had the flu going on. And so they were telling them at that point that they needed to get that. So he had said, "Well, right now I'm sick." And they said, "No, you're fine. You can go ahead and get it, and it's going to be fine. You can get it." So he got it. The next day, he dropped dead in his front yard, cutting the grass of a heart attack. Coincidence? Possibly. But I find it very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So just something, again, to think about. A lot of things that have happened are underreported. not talked about, and all those type of things. So it's very, very interesting. Yeah, being dead can stop you from doing anything. Oh, most things. Being dead stops you, Tracy Smith, from doing most things. It'll stop you in your tracks. But I just I talk to this guy all the time. He was in great shape. He wasn't a big fat slob that stuffed donuts and hot dogs down his face every 2 seconds. He was somebody that was in really good physical shape. And to have him, like I say, the next day, had another neighbor up here as well, that to go to his daughter's graduation at high school, they were forcing them to do that as well. So he went out and got it, and he was dead like less than a week later as well. I don't believe in coincidences. I really don't. I just think that is it's very sad. Unfortunately, that's what it is. Being dead doesn't stop you from voting Democrat. Okie Forge. Good point. Very, very good point. Hey, Mountain Kayaker. Also, California Corrections Officers Union gave Newsom 1.75 million, so they are now exempt from the juice. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Yeah, it's weird how certain people have to and other ones don't have to. I don't know. Like I said, I just and now they're pushing it on kids, which I have a real issue with, especially when children are not really as affected, you know, and their survival chances are even higher, So, like I said, I don't want to get into that discussion because I don't want them to say that I'm giving misinformation because I'm not. I'm not giving any information at all. I'm reading comments, and that's what I'm doing. But yeah, there's a lot of things that don't add up. I will say that, and that again is my opinion. When things don't add up, you should think about that doesn't make sense and why are they doing that and all those type of things. But I do want to get back to what we're talking about here today with the situation. Hey Timothy, if we impeach Biden, the second option is much worse. Don't like either, but leave Biden in there so Harris can't take over. I I agree with you. I honestly believe. Thank you very much for that donation. I think Harris is absolutely worse, 100% worse. I think that Biden is up there to take the proverbial sword, to fall on a sword. I think he will be removed one way or another, either medically incapacitated or whatever the case may be. But it is. Yeah, the option is not great in any way, shape, or form. Harris is a horrible, horrible person to have as the vice president. And like I said, if he should suddenly have another aneurysm, because he has had them in the past, and when you've already had aneurysms, the way it works, for those of you that don't know, they're mini strokes. That's what aneurysms are. They're like mini strokes, and so they have this stroke, then they have the next one, then they have the next one, and at some point they have the stroke that takes them out, bam, and they're done. And that would not shock me if that's what happened to Biden. Wouldn't shock me at all. And it'll be like, oh my God, how horrible and all this type of stuff. Even though his approval rating is down the toilet, and because he's done a crappy job. When you open up the borders and you're allowing all kinds of illegals to come in this country, and then you're rewarding them for their bad behavior, that is a huge issue, in my opinion. Just that's my opinion. I think it's a huge issue, allowing these folks to come in here illegally, and then because of, like I said, Trump's policies to separate them. And you know what it did when Trump did that? It slowed the flow. It absolutely slowed the flow. Maybe bad, it maybe not have been a good thing to do, but it definitely had the desired effect, and it stopped people from just coming over in droves. And so now they're going to reward them for coming over here illegally because they were separated from their children. So they're going to get rewarded for their bad behavior, which is absolutely insane. And I will tell you what a lot of them will do, and this is my opinion all the way. If you give a person that lives in South America a next to nothing, and let's say it's at $450,000 per person, like they were talking about, you go back down there, you live like a king for the rest of your life on that kind of money. live like a freaking king. And I think that's what a lot of them would end up doing. So, yeah, he will suddenly die of natural causes. It would not shock me any way, shape, or form. And he will be the sacrificial lamb for them. And then you'll have, the next lunatic, Harris, come in, and she's going to tell us how she's going to save the day and make things better and all this nonsense. So Pelosi has 2 months to declare Biden incompetent. I think that is a foregone conclusion already. I think a lot of us already know that he's incompetent. Once again, my opinion. So, real quick, guys, I'm going to talk about my website, preparedness1.com. We have the Prepper Nurse One community there, which is a resource that we set up for you guys to be able to connect with like-minded people. I've had a lot of new subscribers coming into the channel, and so I want to talk about that. It's a resource that is set up for free for you guys. You go to my website, preparedness1.com. You'll see PN1 community and Prosperity 20, Prosperity 12. Ed, are you keeping both places? Yes, I am keeping both properties, and I'll talk about that in a minute and why. Two reasons. So anyway, it is free to join, but you do have to register. But no credit card information is asked to join the community. All right. Once you're in there and you're registered and you can go in, it's private, so you can read the message boards, connect with somebody in your state or your country. That's what it's designed for. That's what we set it up for. So anyway, so there's that. Also on my website, if you go there, preparedness1.com, you will see the Forefathers logo. If you click on that, it will take you to their website, which is a CBD and hemp store. It is a good thing to have. CBD products help with so many different ailments and pains and all that type of stuff. It's a good thing to have in your prep, so I definitely encourage you to do that as well. If you decide to make a purchase when you're on their website, when you check out, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1. You'll save yourself 15% on your purchase. All right. And it's Prepper, the number one, not O-N-E. The last thing I want to talk about on my website is a legacy freeze-dried foods. So if you go to my website again, preparedness1.com, you click on store, it will drop down. You'll see legacy foods. If you click on that, it will take you to the store within the website. What we have is available there. Definitely take advantage of that. 25-year shelf life, GMO-free, made in the United States, vegetarian, beef and chicken options available separately that you can purchase. Also, there's gluten-free options as well. So definitely take advantage of that. We have Josh says, I was an ER nurse for 8 years, was forced to take a flu shot or my salary would be reduced by cutting my annual raise. I went to FPN school. Old fan 8. I don't know what you mean by that. So you left because they were trying to force you to do that, and I get that. I absolutely get that. That was one of the things I'll tell you that I dealt with working, doing nursing home work or hospital work or whatever. They wanted you to, and back then, it was either you got it or you had to wear a mask for like 6 months. Okay. And believe me, now I'm sure a lot of you are finding out how unpleasant it is to wear a mask a lot of the time. So there was a few times, through the years that I did get it because I wasn't wearing a mask, and so, when I did private duty home care, I never got a flu shot. Okay. And I have not gotten one since I retired from nursing, and I don't ever plan on getting one again. That is my own personal choice. Anybody can do whatever they want to do. That is their choice to do that. I had an issue with them guessing on what would be the strain coming up the next year for the flu, and then have it being, in the neighborhood of about 10% efficient. I didn't, like I said, didn't like it. So that's why I didn't want to do it. So, but I lost my custody of my kids for driving a big rig over the road. Where's my 450K? I hear you, man. I absolutely hear you. It is amazing to me what they're doing with everything. You have, and I can't remember. I wish I knew what city it was because I don't remember. If one of you guys remember what city I'm talking about, because I did see this in the news, but this one particular city is no longer going to enforce minor traffic infractions anymore. because it's been, they're saying that it's being used to profile and all this type of stuff. But I thought, tell me if I'm wrong, that the law is the law. Philly, okay, thank you. Yep, I knew somebody would say, yeah, Philly, okay. Isn't a law the law? I mean, if you have this or that wrong with your vehicle, you should get pulled over and get a ticket for that, right? They're going to give it to me. They're going to give it to you. But now in Philly, they're not going to Boston, Mass as well. Yeah. So they're not going to give you a ticket for that anymore. So that's going to encourage what? It's going to encourage people not to do those things, not to get those things fixed. I don't have a problem with warning tickets. Like, if you have a bulb out or whatever the case may be, I have no problem with a warning ticket, meaning you got, 24 hours to get a replacement bulb and show it that you got the bulb fixed, and go from there. I don't have a problem with that because, it should be, it shouldn't be based on that. It shouldn't be based on that. You know, it's crazy. It is crazy what is going on. How the manipulation and like I said, if you watch the news on a regular basis, again, just like the beginning of what we talked about tonight, about the fact that we have a huge epidemic happening right now with people being foreclosed on, with people being evicted from their apartments for non-payment of rent. But you're hearing crickets in the news about it. You're not hearing anything because they're being told not to report about it because it's going to sensationalize it, and people are going to realize what a huge crisis we're in the middle of. When you have working families, and I want you to think about this, guys. Again, I'm going to give you a great example. Now, Asa's not in the chat tonight. He's out having dinner with his son, but he sent me a text. Same usage from power for his electric bill from last year to this year. Same exact usage. There was no difference in the usage, but his bill was increased by 30%. Okay? I want you to think about that. 30% increase in his bill year over year, same amount of usage, nothing else changed, but his bill was 30% higher. And I don't think he would mind me saying that, but how many people is that happening to? Realistically, how many people is that happening to? So you throw your energy cost, you throw in, and that's for your electric, your gas, for your home, if you have heating oil or propane or whatever you're using, all those are up across the board and up huge. You have gas prices gone up like crazy. You've had the cost of, food is like absolutely through the roof. Go try to buy some meat and you'll know what I'm talking about. It's insane what is happening. But what hasn't changed, and I almost guarantee this, is your rate of pay. Now, if you're getting minimum wage, yeah, maybe they're giving you $15 an hour in certain states now. Pinball said 30% is in the bill. Oh, and the bill that just got passed, an increase of another 30%. It would not shock me. I would not shock me at all. But this isn't going to stop. It's going to get worse and worse. But again, your rate of pay is not going up. Yeah, bet he didn't get a 30% pay raise. I'll bet he didn't either. That don't happen. You're lucky. If you get that $1 an hour raise, if you're lucky, you get a $1 an hour raise. Half the time, they want you to take a tax or a pay cut because the company's struggling and they're having such a hard time. But of course, the CEO of that company is making millions, and that's perfectly fine, right? That's perfectly fine. So, guys, what do we got? We have 890 in the chat. We're at 510 on the thumbs up. So again, I got to ask because we got to really blow out this number tonight because we got a lot of people in the chat. So I think we can have a really big number of thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that ahead of time. Again, it also really makes a big difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, and they count thumbs up and thumbs down as interaction. So if you could, yeah, I want the PN1 power company. I'll tell you what, I like having the PN1 power company. Again, it makes a big difference with the algorithm. So thank you for that reason as well. Also, a third reason I do like to see a lot of thumbs up. That's just part of the game for me. So it's a lot of fun. Also, If you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So if you guys saw recently, I just crossed 96,400. That happened today. So we are 3,600 subscribers away from me getting my tattoo. All right. And so people that don't know what I'm talking about, at the end of all my videos, at the end of all my live streams, I always say STD, step, thing, and day. Not the bad STD that people think, but it's something that you remember. You remember the acronym because you think you know it means this, but what it means is one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. When I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will have, and I think I'm gonna have it right here on the right side of my chest, tattooed, STD up here someplace. So we'll figure that out. But I think that's the spot I'm gonna put it. I think that's where I'm gonna go with that. So that is the plan. So we're getting closer. We are definitely getting closer. So all right. So somebody had asked me earlier, and I wanted to address this. They said, "Are you keeping both properties?" And I am. Okay. I plan on keeping my property here in New York and my property in West Virginia. The reason, like, I'm keeping my property in New York is two reasons. Pretty much this bug out location is pretty much done. I mean, there's a few things that I'm going to tweak, as time goes on. I want to plant more fruit trees. I have a couple other things that I want to do up here and stuff like that. But this one's pretty much done. Becky doesn't want to leave this one because of the grandchildren. So I won't get rid of this property because this retreat is already done. And that way, Becky's always going to be here. She's never going to be forced to leave. And so that's one of the reasons. The other reason, like I said, as I work on the new bug out location in West Virginia, I'll have two places. I'll have two options. If things are hairy, let's say in New York, and things are getting really bad, we load up and we head to West Virginia. And especially as I get things more developed down there and work down there. So, that's the thing. It's again, that redundancy. One is none, and two is one. So with having a couple of different options to go to, it puts you in a much better situation. So there you go. So there's your answer for that. So, but you know, uh, oh my God, that's funny. Things are getting crazy. Things are going to get even more crazy, I believe, as this winter months come in, especially if we have the cold winter that is predicted to be coming. We have that cold winter that is predicted to be coming. It's going to be getting real expensive real fast to be able to heat your homes, to be able to keep your power on, and those type of things. I've had so many people through the years. Well, you put so much into your solar system, and it costs you so much to do it. You're never going to recover the cost of that. And what I try to explain to people is a couple of things. With having my own power system, number one, I don't get a monthly bill. No one can ever threaten to turn off my power because it's mine. So they can't come in here and say, we're shutting you off. No, you can't because it's mine. So that independence, that freedom to me is huge, absolutely huge. And I like being in that position where they don't own me. They can't threaten me to turn that power off if I don't pay my bill. And then when they give you these exorbitant, out of control bills, and you have no choice but to pay them, I won't be getting that bill. So that was one of the reasons. The other reason I tried to explain to people was the other problem that they don't understand was every year your gas and electric bill is never going to go down. It's going to continue to go up, 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 and up. And that's exactly what has been happening. Okay. Yeah, look at the crazy bills that people got in Texas. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Yep. No planned power outage is either. There will be no rolling blackouts at the PN1 homestead. We're going to have power. We're going to be good to go. When I work on the property in West Virginia, as you guys know, I've talked about it. I will be setting up my own solar system down there as well. And so, you know, that independence is huge. And if there is an issue, and let's say the grid was attacked, or there was a cyber attack, or if there was, you know, some kind of coordinated attack on the system, anybody that has an independent system, we're never going to know it until somebody picks up the phone and calls us or knocks on the door and say, "Oh my God, everybody's power's out. We don't know what's going on," because I won't know because my power will be on. The only way I knew, like I said, we had a storm here. Uh, God, 2 years ago, I think it was, and the power went out in the neighborhood. We had, before they came in and cleaned up the trees. We had, like, every year it was. What's the temp in your house when you have the wood stove going? Oh, JJ, it gets warm. Like right now, I have this window. I actually have the fan on, blowing in. I always have that window's always open. We have the loft on the other side of the house. That window's always open. The kitchen window is always open. Doesn't matter how cold it gets outside. It gets very warm in here, and so we have to have those windows open. Otherwise, it would blow you out of this house. Wood heat to me is the absolute best heat. It is awesome. I have, oh God, it's an American Standard, I think, wood stove. I believe so. Oh, Randy Romines is reminding me that it is egg count time. Yes, she is correct. All right, so what we're gonna do real quick. I'm going to ask for another thumbs up, and then we're going to do the egg count, okay? So, again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up, let's see how high we can get that number today just for fun, as we're sitting on almost 900 people in the chat. So, now it is 900. So, there we go. So, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I would ask you to please shoot a thumbs up to show support for the channel. And, again, thank you for that. Again, the algorithms is huge, so it really makes a difference that way as well. And I thank you for that reason. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please make sure you subscribe, hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So, all right. And she did not have foreknowledge of this ahead of time when she made her guess, the first guess, letting us know, Randy Romines, about its egg count time. And she had a guess of 4 eggs, which is 100% correct. We ended up with 4 eggs today. So, like I said, the girls are molting. It's been cold, and they're like, nope, not doing it. So, what are you going to do? That's how it goes, unfortunately. So, I wanted to acknowledge some people, too. I've had a new influx of people coming in as members to the channel, quite a few new members. So, I wanted to thank all of the people for the support for the channel that way. And thank you for doing that. If you become a hardcore member, I do a live stream every single Monday. And so that is strictly for the hardcore preppers. If you are interested in, supporting the channel that way as well, becoming a member, you go to my main page and you will see the join button. You join, there's 3 different levels. Anything that is money that I get from that, because of course YouTube takes their 30% off the top, like they do. That goes back to help support what we're doing. So it is very much appreciated, and I want to thank all the people that have become members, and the ones that have been steady members since I started doing the membership thing. I think it was 3 or 4 months ago is when I just started doing it. So thank you guys for that support. I do appreciate that. So let's see. But yeah, we've had a whole bunch, and I know that, like, Alaskan Prepper's been giving me some shout outs. I know that Pinball's been giving me shout outs as well. I also give them shout outs every single stream that I do, because they're a couple of great channels to begin with. That's another reason, as well. But like I said, I think that support of each other, I think, is really, really important. And I think we should continue to do that. Did you find all the collars? No, I didn't even look today, John, to be honest with you. I got a couple other options that I can go to, and I'm going to go down and check those out. And but yeah, I'm going to be, watching Ed and kittens being born on another channel. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, watching babies being born is always fun. Always love babies. Babies are always fun. Um, but anyway, so like I said, there's so many. Well, we're going to do the shout outs. We'll do that at the top of the hour here. So we're going to be doing all that shortly. So, but I've had a real nice increase in subscribers, and I know a lot of that is coming from other channels giving me a shout out back, so that's hugely appreciated as well. And yeah, 30% is just another way they want to steal your money. Exactly. Well, that is YouTube. The super chats, they do the same thing with the super chats, and it is the way it is. Unfortunately, it is their ball, and we have to play according to their rules, or they're going to take their ball and they're going to go home, or they'll be like Cartman and say, take the ball and go, screw you guys, I'm going home. So, yeah, but we will see what happens. With this now that one infrastructure bill has passed. Um, you know, we'll see how that continues, and we'll see what little things that they've hidden in that bill now that they'll all have the chance to look at it. But it is something that if you're going to do an infrastructure bill, it needs to be the entire thing needs to be strictly about the infrastructure, nothing else. And that is my opinion as well. You know, I can't monetize my channel, but YouTube put ads on my videos. Stacy Smith said, "Oh yeah, well that's what they do. Absolutely, they do. They when I first started on YouTube, you could monetize right away, and then YouTube realized that there was a lot of very small channels out there that were not putting up a ton of content. They were all making money off of YouTube, and so they said, well, we'll make it more difficult. And so I think the thing is now you have to have, before you can monetize, you need to have 1,000 subscribers and at least 4,000 watch hours. And so that's what they do now. So when they put that into place, a lot of people, you know, a lot of people were not able to monetize that at that point. So you know I was already well past that at that point anyway. But it's just I can remember when I got my first check from YouTube. And what they do too is the way that when you first start out, when I first started out, being a very small channel, and not knowing anybody, not knowing the ins and outs of YouTube, they won't send you a check until you make at least $100. So if the last month you made 45, they would carry that over and wait, and they keep that money and make money on that money until you hit that $100 threshold, and then they'll throw you that first check. So that was what they did when I first got started. So Tracy Smith said, I started in 2015, was able to monetize off the bat. After 2017, nope. Yep, because you have to reach their new qualifications. So 7,000 amnesty for illegals. Karen just said that. I had not heard that. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest with you, at all, if they would pull that type of stuff. So national debt clock says 28 trillion. The angry homesteader just said that. Yep. Yeah, it's nuts. It is not. It is nuts. So the angry homesteader, guys, used to be the happy homesteader, if you don't know, and she has gone from being a happy homesteader to an angry homesteader. Understandably so, with everything that is going on. So sorry for calling you out, hon, but I just figured somebody would probably recognize that, maybe not. But again, we need to continue to focus on what we can control. I've been saying it, guys, for a long, long time, and it started. I think it started last year when I was saying to people, prep, prep, prep. Keep getting ready. Keep getting put food away. Food is never going to be cheaper than it was right now. When I said that last January, not this year in January, but the January before, when I said food is never going to be cheaper than it is right now, was I right? I was right. So again, I'm going to say it again. Food is never going to be cheaper than it is right now. Oh, I got to salute JJ. Hold on. I got the Arizona over here too. I was just drinking my other tea. So there's the salute for JJ. So I have my green tea, and then I have my regular hot tea. So JJ's putting up a link for Malaki. I hope I said that right. Probably not. So they got a new channel. And I have no idea what their channel's about, but again, we should all be supporting each other. So why not go over there and subscribe and see if you like it? And if you like it, stay. And if you don't, then unsubscribe and don't be a troll. So, but episode 18 of the Carrington Chronicles was excellent today. Busy Rizza Jizza is the best. Sally Carlson just said that. So again, guys, what's going on? For those of you that don't know, Busy Rizza Jizza, and JJ is going to throw that link up for you guys that don't know who that is as well. He is a friend of mine. He is in Greece, New York, and he does the Carrington Chronicles. He had another series that he did as well, and so he is another one. It's a great channel, great storytelling, really realistic, and definitely check those out. And and he's right on the money with a lot of things, and giving scenarios and again, it's a lot of it should be making you think. Definitely be making you think. So that's important. So yeah, JJ just put up the link also for Bushcraft Bear, who also has another excellent channel. So I'm gonna do these other ones, guys. So now we're getting some of these out right now. But Bushcraft Bear, real good dude. He's over in La Palma in the Canary Islands, giving you the updates. I believe today was day 50 of the eruption, in the Canary Islands there, and so very interesting. He's got some really good information, and he's sharing and he's showing you what's going on. The earthquakes continue to happen over. I think they said they had a 4.8 earthquake over there today. Scary stuff, really. I mean, if you're there and you're living it, probably not a whole lot of fun. So, what do you do if you lose your home from the mandates? Pledge your allegiance, says. You know, like I said, it is. We're all going to have to make tough choices. We're all going to have to make tough choices. And here's what I want to encourage you guys to do. And I've talked about this, before. I'm doing this, I've been doing it in my property here in New York. And I've also started, having some people reach out to me, and I'm talking to some people in West Virginia. If you guys can get yourself together with a group, all right, and I want you to think about this, all right. This is actually really, it should be the way that we should all be doing things. If you can get together with a group, and if you can find a bug out location that you can be able to live at the bug out location, still maintain a job, or go and get a different job, or do something different. But if you have a collective group of people working together at said bug out location, and having people living there full time, and then have other people, maybe have the property in one person's name, I don't know. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with, those type of things. But if you can get together with people and work together and have the common good, I know it's a weird concept of actually working together, and helping each other and doing things like that. Um, you know, Jan says, thanks to you, Ed, I'm hoarding food. It's not called hoarding. It is not called hoarding at all. It is being smart. It is being prepared. That is not hoarding. Hoarding is having stacks of newspapers 15 feet high, all through your entire house. That's called hoarding. Or having junk that you'll never use. That's called hoarding. Having food, and having supplies and being ready for whatever may happen is just another form of insurance. So think of it that way. It's absolutely not. It's definitely not hoarding. So, but anyway, if you can find a group of people that are willing to work together, I know that. Oh God. Viking Preparedness. He does that out in Missouri. He has a group out there, and he is, he's doing that out there. And so, I don't know what his rules are for his group out there. There needs to be rules like anything else. If you want to be part of something, you got to be willing to have a certain amount of supplies on hand, being willing to make a certain commitment for your time to help the group and work on things that are down there and stuff like that. Those are important things. I think they are. And I'm not gonna see. Here's the thing: is if you want to be, let's say you want to be part of my group, either here in New York or in West Virginia. Let's say you want to be part of either one of those. It's not about you coming there, sitting on your behind, and doing absolutely nothing, and go, oh, thank God for Prepperness One. He's going to take care of everything. It's not how it works. My expectation is that we work together. That's my expectation. I think everybody's expectation should be the same. So if you can get together with like-minded people, wherever you are in the country, wherever you are in the world, and say, hey, here we are, we're all in Chicago. Let's buy a piece of property, maybe together, maybe in 3 or 4 people's different names together, and Richard Ruckman said, Ed, if it was not for you, I'd be unprepared. Thank you. Thank you, Matt. You know what? Those are the greatest compliments to me. The greatest compliments to me. And I want to thank you for saying that. I do appreciate that. That makes me really feel good because you helped yourself. And that's the important thing. That is my ultimate goal, is for all of you not to be victims. That is my goal. I don't want you to be victims. I want you to be proactive and help yourselves. But again, when people say, I can't do this or I can't do that, if you can find the right people or the right group and they're willing to work together, there is nothing that any of us can't accomplish. And I want you to think about this. So let's talk about this. If you could find, let's say, 10 families, I'm going to use that as just a number I'm throwing out there. So you got 10 families. You buy a piece of property, maybe you throw in together, you have it in some kind of collective where everybody owns it together, or whatever the case, or if you got somebody that already owns a piece of property and you want to go there and you want to work with them and do that type of stuff, whatever way you're comfortable with, whatever you're okay with. But if you're there and you're building your home there and you're doing the things that you want to do there, let's say you're in a camper, so what? You start out in a camper, you do what you got to do, but you're not paying that mortgage payment anymore. And so now you're going to contribute to adding more solar, because obviously that would be an important thing if you're off grid and you want to have a good system and you have 3, 4, maybe 5 homes going, running power. People need to put that in together to make that better. It's not one person putting out all the money and then you just sucking the power off of them. That's not how that works. You have to be doing your part. You have to be doing your share. So as you can, you make that system better and better and better, meaning more batteries, more solar panels, whatever the case may be, running wire to this home, running wire to that home, all those type of things. Believe it or not, it's not that difficult. It really, really isn't. And it is something that every one of us can do. And the more of us that did something like that, now we're stepping back from the system. Now we're stepping back from the system. And we have a group of people, like-minded people, living together, hopefully in harmony. That's important. You want to be able to make sure everybody's going to get along and, you know, live together, live in peace, work together. When things go to complete garbage, which I believe that they will, you're there. You're there for each other. You have each other's back. You're going to protect each other. You're going to be watching out for each other. The village. Yes, I like that. Yeah, exactly. But the reality is that movie, and I love that movie. I thought that was awesome. But they wanted a simpler life because so many of their loved ones had been killed senselessly, you know? So, you know, Sharon Barrett said, I cried while cleaning Brutus's cage today. I'm sure you did, hon. It's like I said, losing a pet is not fun in any way, shape, or form. But, you always have to remember, you know, having that time with that animal and living that time, you always have to remember the good times. So, St. Bernard Acres, my group is my family. That's it. Well, and again, you know what? And so that's obviously Joe, guys. And that's a choice. You know what I mean? That is an absolute choice. If Joe, I think Joe, but I think I've talked. I know I've talked to you, and you talked about your neighbors up there working together. That you guys do plan on working together, and that's what it's about as well. Wasn't Waco a cult? Richard Beck just said. Well, according to the government, they were. According to the government. So what? Because you have a group that's going to work together, that makes it a cult. You know, you know what? That whole thing. In and I'm going to give you my opinion. The government murdered those people in Waco. That was my opinion. Okay, you're never going to convince me otherwise, because I just, from everything, and then the propaganda that was put out there afterwards, how he was sleeping with all the wives and he was molesting all the children. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. You know, and like I said, they can drag anybody's name through the mud, but the survivors that they talked to, a lot of them were saying that he was not that type of man. So imagine that. So again, Ruby Ridge, same thing. When the government goes ahead and kills his wife while she's holding a baby in her arms, that's okay, right? Oh, and by the way, they ended up giving a huge settlement to Randy Weaver over that situation. But they still, what? They killed his kid, his dog, and his wife. I think the kid died too, if I'm not mistaken. Not 100% sure. I know, I know that the wife was killed, and I know they killed his dog, but I don't remember if they killed his child as well. But somebody will tell me in here, you know, yeah, the government is the biggest cult in the world. Yeah, and if you don't do what they say, you're in big, big trouble. So that's interesting, right? And heaven forbid that you want to live a different lifestyle and be free as much as you possibly can be, and not be under a tyrannical government. Oh well, what a lunatic you are for thinking that way. Think about that. So anyway, um, all right. So let's do some shout outs. We've already done some already. We already did Biz Rizza Jizza. We already done St. Bernard Acres. We've already done, who else did we do? We did a couple other people earlier as well. But Pinball Preparedness, I know is a great guy. Alaskan Prepper, also just an awesome dude. There's Alaskan Granny as well. Angry Prepper down in New York City, awesome dude as well. Love him. He just says it like it is, and I love that. Deep South Homestead is another good channel. You have Southern Prepper One, a lot of good information on his channel as well. Wrangle Star is a good channel, a lot of good information with his channel as well. And the thing is, with a lot of these channels, what they're encouraging you to do is not be victims, to be proactive, to help yourselves. You have Green Greg's. You have Marfugal News out on the West Coast. Great channel out there, a lot of good information. Full Spectrum Survival is another really good channel. You also have Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. You have Suspicious Observer. You have Magic Prepper up in North Dakota. Bjorn Hansen is another one. Corporal's Corner is another one. Anything that you can get, Doug and Stacy is another great channel. Anything that you can glean information off of, that you can utilize, is going to make a big, big difference. Okay, it's going to make a difference. So if you go and you get something out of that channel and you go, wow, I didn't think about that, that's a good idea, or whatever the case may be, I think that that's important. And like I said, I truly believe we should all be supporting each other, lifting each other up, and not trying to tear each other down. I think that is so counterproductive. And the Amish have a resilient community. Yeah, because they keep to themselves. Gray Man Prepping, yes. Survival Lily. You also have, Bush Radical is another great channel. His wife, Girl in the Woods, another awesome channel. And they show you how to do stuff, and it's simple, and it's not as difficult as people think. So it's like, if you can take that information and utilize that, it makes a big, big difference in with what you're doing. The information is out there. A great example. So somebody asked Heather, "How did you learn to knit?" And Heather said to this person, "I watched a YouTube video." Think about that. Simple as that. She went on YouTube, watched the video, and now Heather knits like crazy because she enjoys doing it. I mean, the information is out there. It's up to you to go out, utilize it, glean it, take what you can take out of it, realize that this is positive, this is negative. I'm going to keep the positive, I'm going to throw the negative away. You have Icky Can, my buddy up in Canada, and he's always posting videos up there as well. I would ask you to support his channel as well. Sean James had an accident, didn't have his glasses on, his safety glasses on, had him up on his hat, he almost got hit in the eye, you know. So that is things that happen. A wood chip came up and caught him in the eye. Thank goodness he didn't have any major injuries from that. But those kind of things are going to happen. Accidents are going to happen. So um, so much information is out there, so much teaching information that any of us can take that and say, okay, let's say so I'm gonna get down to West Virginia, let's say. So I decide, okay, I'm gonna dig a hole, have a bulldozer come and dig me out a big hole, and I'm gonna put in a basement. And I'm gonna do it myself because I'm gonna be as independent as I can. I am not a mason. But if I watch different videos on how to do things and how to get things set up, could I wing it? I'm sure I could. I'm sure I could get some people to come down to help me as well. But that is an option that you can do. Those are options that are there. The information is out there if you're willing to take it in and learn from it. There was a channel, and it was a mother and her children, and she built her own home and did all of it by watching YouTube videos. It's as simple as taking the time, learning, and putting it into action. And again, I'm going to tell you guys, for me personally, when I moved off grid here, now I just started my 7th year full time living here off grid. Huge learning curve, huge learning curve. I'm a nurse by trade. That's what I do. I've been in nursing for over 30 years. Over 30 years. I started out as a CNA. I was a CNA for 5 years. Went back to school, got my nursing degree, and I've been a nurse since 1995. So I've been doing this a long time. Um, so but living off grid and doing that, I didn't have the skill set. I had a determination, and I had a drive, and I had a will, and we made it happen. And it is everything, as long as you are willing to sacrifice the short term for the long term goal. And that's what it's about. And that's what a lot of people are not willing to do. They're not willing to do that short term sacrifice to get that long term goal. They're not. They want everybody, not a lot of people want instantaneous gratification. They want it yesterday. They don't want to wait. They don't want to say, okay, well, we're going to get to this point and we're going to be satisfied with that for right now until we can afford to do the next step. They don't want that. They want it instantly. And that ends up being a problem for a lot of people. When you reach a goal, we went without a good example. We didn't have running water here for a year and a half. I had the well. I just didn't have the money to be able to get access to the water and stuff like that. So we didn't have running water in the house for a year and a half. When we finally got running water in the house and I was able to take a regular shower in my house with my hot water on demand unit, what a wonderful day. You have no idea how awesome that feels. But was it worth the wait? Absolutely it was. But when we did it, I didn't go into debt to do it. And that's what I've been trying to do here as I've gone along through time. Not trying to put myself in a big, huge hole that I'm trying to dig out of month after month after month. Because when you do that, then they own you once again. If you can be as independent as you possibly can be, it gives you a freedom that people will never understand, that they will never understand. So, but anyway, what are we at? 757 on the thumbs up. We got 708 in the chat at the moment. So I'm going to ask for another thumbs up. I'm going to set a bar here. We're going to set a bar. I'm going to say 900. So that's 140 more thumbs up. So we're going to set that as the bar. We're going to shoot for 900 today. All right. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel. And let's see how close to 900. If we can get over 900, would even be better. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time. Also, it really, again, does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the higher it pushes us up in the rankings. So I thank you for that reason as well. The third reason, of course, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. That's part of the game. So I thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So right now we are at 793, 107 away. So let's see if we can get to 900, folks. So keep pushing it if you haven't done so yet, and thank you ahead of time. So we're going to do We Are Legion, and not the bad biblical Legion. This is the good Legion, like a Roman Legion, the American Legion. We are a huge network. We are a huge family of people that are awake, not woke. We are awake. Where is everybody from tonight? So we got Central Missouri is in the house with Randy Romines. Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We have Georgia, Connecticut, Kansas, Oregon, New Mexico, North Carolina, Endicott, New York, Alabama, Virginia, South Carolina, Ottawa, Canada, Phoenix, Arizona, Kent in the United Kingdom. Well, I'm glad you're still with us. Cape Cod, Orlando, Florida, Wyoming, Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. We have Kansas in the house again, Missouri in the Ozarks, Washington State, Eckerd, Indiana, Nowhere, Oklahoma, still my favorite. St. Augustine, Florida, Savannah, Georgia. We have Missouri, Minnesota, Hillman, Michigan. Australia's in the house. Welcome. Glad you guys are here as well. Waterloo, New York. We have Spain in the house. Very nice. Ulster Park, New York. Cincinnati, Ohio. Oklahoma. Kansas City. Independence, Missouri. Hanover, Pennsylvania, Mississippi, New Jersey. Ocala, Florida. Virginia. Southern West Virginia. Troy, North Carolina. Arizona. Let's see, Northern Michigan, Fort Lauderdale, Roosevelt, Utah, very cool. Let's see, Ocean Park, Washington, Granbury, Texas, Connecticut, Arkansas, Union City, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Beech Grove, Indiana, Canandaigua, New York, Western Kentucky. We have Kentucky as well, Dallas, Texas, Glenville, Georgia. Let's see, Arizona, Weatherford, Texas, Ramsey, Illinois, Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina, Southwest Ontario, Canada, Central Maine, Tennessee, Nebraska, Kansas City. Again, guys, we are all over the place. We are a huge, huge network of people all over the place. And we are truly a big family. We're the ones that have been awakened, and I believe we have been awakened for a reason, to be able to be in a situation, in a position to help the people that need the help when the time comes. The egg count, Charles, was 4 today. We ended up with 4 eggs today. Uh, it's important that we do the best that we possibly can. We need to take care of our families first. We need to take care of our groups first. But if we can be in a position where we can help other people that need that help, I think that we should try to do that if we can. I think it's important. There's going to be so many people that are going to need so much help in a post event that are going to be absolutely clueless. And the government is not coming in to save the day. The government will look out for the government first, and that's what they do. They always will. That's how they roll. So what do we have? 819 on the thumbs up, guys. We need another 81 to get to 900. So again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, let's keep that rolling up there, and let's see how close to 900, or if we can get over 900, that would even be better. So I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for what you do. You guys are absolutely awesome, and I appreciate that. It really means a lot to me, because it's like, I want this to be, again, I want this to be family friendly. I want people to be able to have their kids, their grandkids, listening in to these chats, and they don't have to worry, about something being said, bad. So I think that that's important. And again, no judgment on anybody that runs their channel whatever way they want to. Like, Angry Prepper, I love him to death. I think he's an awesome, awesome dude. He swears a lot. I get it. I understand that. It doesn't bother me, but I know some people don't like that. I just made the choice way back when that I didn't want to do that on this channel. So that was just my choice. Okay. So I want to thank all of you for being in the chat and being here and showing support for the channel. It really means a lot as well. You guys are the reason I'm here. Hey, Pete, thank you very much, man. Thank you for being here from the UK. I know it's much later over there. So, Ed, are you planning to put a well at the West Virginia property? That's really going to depend. If I can develop that spring, and that spring is going to be viable enough that I can get enough water from the spring, and between that and setting up rain catchment systems, then I won't have to put a well in. But if I don't get enough water from that, I may have to look at putting in some wells somewhere. But down there, the elevation is 3,200 feet. So that could be a huge, huge problem. So we're going to cross that bridge when we get there. In the spring, the priorities are going to be power and water. Those are my first two priorities on the property. With having the camper down on site, I have a base that I can live out of to start with down there, so that makes a big difference. Oh, Bear Independent. Yes, I did not say his channel. Yes, he has a good channel as well. Absolutely. So, but yeah, so we're gonna have to play that out as we go. So, what do we got? 843. So 57 more, guys. We got to get 57 more thumbs up. Can we do it? I got confidence in you. We still got 584 people in the chat. We can do that. We can do 57 more thumbs up. So, guys, let's get that to 900. Let's see how close we can get. I want people to remember that we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race, and that's important. And a lot of people do lose sight of that because we are constantly inundated with hatred, perpetuated by the media, by the government. They want us all to hate each other. They want us to hate each other over race. They want us to hate each other over religion. They want to hate each other over political affiliation. They want us to hate each other over the vaxxed and the unvaxxed, which is absolutely ridiculous. There should be none of that going on. None of that. If we come together and work together, it is amazing what we could accomplish. When people say, if you get a group of people together and they're going to work together and live together, it's like a cult. That's not a cult. That's the old ways. That's the old ways where they did stuff. They got things together. They got things squared away. That's how they did it back in the day. People don't do that anymore. They got away from that. They got into that selfish me, and we need to get away from that. We need to start watching out for each other again. And I think that's important. But if we can get away from the crap that they feed us constantly and focus on the real problems, which is really big business and government, we're going to be in much better shape. Also, remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life, so it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Hugely important. What are we at? 875. We got 25 more thumbs up, guys. Come on, we can do it. We can hit 900. I have faith in you. So, oh, Prepper Princess. Yeah, she has a good channel as well. Yep, Richard Beck. Yep, she's also a very good channel. Yeah, I like her as well. What was I going to say here? The last but not least, guys, is STD. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you are trying to do, whatever you are trying to accomplish, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be about prepping. It doesn't have to be about living off grid. It can be whatever your goals that you have set for yourself. The only person in life that can stop you from achieving your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. If you stay positive, um, you know, stay away from the negativity, you're going to be just fine. It really does make a big difference. Don't let anybody tell you what you can't accomplish. Set the goals and then set about to making them happen. So what are we at? 884. 16 more, guys. Come on. 16 more thumbs up. Let's hit that 900 number. I did say Southern Prepper 1 earlier. I did mention him earlier. So what are we at? 889. We need 11 more. 11 more thumbs up. Let's make that happen. 10 more to go now. 890. We just got to do it for fun. 892. So we're 8 away now. But again, guys, I will continue to encourage you. Prep. Get ready. Don't be victims. Stay positive. Don't let other people tell you what you can't do. Don't listen to the negativity. When people call you hoarders and you're crazy and all that type of stuff, you're only crazy till something happens. Once something happens, you're one of the smartest people in the room. What are we at? 896. We need 4 more thumbs up, guys. 898. 2 away. We can do it. I know you guys can do it. I knew you guys could hit 900. Knew you could. We're 899. There it is. There's 900. See, I had faith in you guys. I knew you could do it. So 905 now, like blowing right past it. Awesome. Anyway, guys, again, keep prepping. Don't stop prepping. Keep getting ready. Things are getting worse. You can see it happening. With more and more people losing their homes, being out on the street, you're going to see crime. Crime's already increasing. So it's going to get worse. And that's not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun at all. So that's the highest thumbs up we've had in quite a while, though. 908. Quite a while. We haven't been that high in a while. So thank you all for being here. I truly appreciate you. I will see you guys on the next one. Remember also, Monday live stream, members only, hardcore preppers. So again, if you want to be part of that, go to my main page, hit the join button, become a hardcore prepper, and you can be part of that private live stream. All right. I hope you guys have a great night. 9:13 now. That's crazy. Awesome. So anyway, I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. 9:14.